Lesson 11. Be concerned. Wars cause untold sufferings and take away several lives. The 2 world wars of the last century alone took away more than 1 million lives, not to speak of the terrible destruction they caused. Realizing the havoc, several organizations sprang up so as to put an end to future wars as well as to ameliorate the pathetic human conditions. The League of Nations and the UNO were 2 world organizations set up with this end in view. However, neither they nor any other organization could succeed in achieving their goals. Even today, wars and destruction continue unabated. This very often results from selfishness, love of power, and from the greed of certain individuals and nations. They have no concern for the happiness and welfare of other human beings. A glance at the daily newspaper will be sufficient to convince anyone about the sufferings and agony caused all around us. Lakhs and lakhs of people are killed in the wars that are going on in different countries. Poverty causes untold suffering to people in underdeveloped and developing countries. There is a shortage of food even in India, where more than 60% of the population lives below the poverty line. The condition is worse in our neighboring countries and in Africa. Despite advances made in the field of medical sciences, diseases continue to increase and spread. AIDS and cancer seem to be the curse of mankind. In addition, there are natural calamities like earthquakes, floods, tsunamis, etc., which not only destroy human lives, but also cause terrible sufferings. On every side, there is the cry of pain. We believe that the world belongs to one family, the family of mankind. There is an interconnectedness and interdependence amongst us. All religions teach us to love all human beings as everyone is God's child. John Donne, the great poet, reminds us of this great truth in his famous lines. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never ask to know for whom. The bell tolls, it tolls for thee. As young people born and brought up in well-to-do homes and educated in good schools, you are indeed fortunate to have everything needed for a secure and happy life. However, you cannot close your eyes to what is happening around your home. You have a duty towards other human beings, for all are children of the same God. How can we be deaf to the agonizing cries of those around us? How can we eat sumptuous meals when we see the tears and hear the cries of the hungry millions? How can we sleep soundly when we hear the cries of the sleepless ones who are sick or suffering? Is it possible for us to tolerate exploitation of the weak? We simply cannot pretend to be ignorant of the sufferings and pain suffered by our own brothers and sisters. We must be concerned about them. When we are concerned about others, we accept them as our own and share their joys, worries, anxieties, and sorrows. Our concern compels us to do whatever is possible to reduce their sufferings. It motivates us to fight against cruelty, injustice, and exploitation. It prevents us from remaining indifferent and apathetic. History is full of examples of men and women who sacrificed everything, even their lives, for the welfare of others. In fact, we have all benefited from this concern of theirs for humanity. Jesus Christ, Lord Buddha, and Prophet Muhammad are all examples of this concern. Florence Nightingale, who went to nurse the suffering soldiers in the Crimean War, Mahatma Gandhi, who fought against apartheid in South Africa and led the struggle for independence in India, and Mother Teresa, who left the comforts of a convent to care for the unwanted slum dwellers, are only a few of the many who stood out because of their concern for others. To have concern for others, one need not leave home or spend all the time in social work. What is important is that one becomes aware of the sufferings of others. This awareness will naturally change our attitude towards them. There are several ways in which this attitude will influence our words and deeds. The first step is to desist from pretending to be ignorant of the agony experienced by the less fortunate ones. Let us avoid the following common statements with which we shake off all responsibilities. I never knew. It's not my business. Why should I bother? Who has the time for it? I can't help if they suffer. Let us learn to look beyond our narrow world of I, me, and mine. The world is much wider, and it is the duty of each one of us to share the joys and comforts that the good Lord has gifted us. It may be our wealth, our talents, our time, or our knowledge. Let us do our best. It may be a cry in the wilderness, yet it will have its impact on the world. Undoubtedly, this will make the world a better and a happier place to live in.